4 pieces of work to do. For this unit, it is no different. You have 4 pieces of work to do. And 2 theory and 2 practical, as you know, for everything that you do. So for this quarter, you'll be doing this Entrep unit, and so what we're going to be covering. So for you're going to have 4 assignments. You're going to have a theory test for this one. You're going to be doing a business plan, right? And because it's entrepreneurship, you're going to be doing the business and whatever business that you choose, and you do the plan for. That is what you're going to be executing, because you're going to be executing the business, right? And also you'll be doing an individual 5-minute presentation on yourself. So it will be about you, and to be about you, and we will get into all of that, right? So that will be covered the 4 pieces of work for this unit that we're going to be doing. What I want to do how many groups are in the class? 3?
Yes, miss.
3. All right. So whatever group you're in, you stay within the group. And so therefore you're going to be having 3 groups doing executing your business, right? So you'll be putting out booths on the outside, and whatever product and or service that you're going to be doing, you're going to be showcasing it, and it's going to be, very big. And you and the housekeeping group will be doing it at the same time. So it'll be one big thing for that day, one big entrepreneurship day. And within that same week, it's National Entrepreneurship Week. So we'll be going to be doing it within that same period. And for that big thing that we're going to be doing is the week of the 8th of November. Between the 8th to the 12th. So we finalize on that soon. But that's the week we're going to be doing the big execution of the business, right? So, and I'll be sending you all the information you will need. I will send you the outline for the business plan. So, and so on. So what I want you to think of from now, what is the type of business and or service that you really want to do within your 2 groups, and or within your groups, what is the business you're going to be doing, and what type of business, and a tagline for the business. You know what is a tagline?
Yes, miss.
Sashna, you know what is a tagline? One sec, the judge. Sashna, you know what is a tagline? Sashna,
Yes, miss.
what is a tagline?
It's like a little short statement under like a business. Yeah.
Give me an example. What I'm talking about. Give me an example.
Like KFC, nobody does it better, miss.
Exactly. Great. So within the 3 groups, they're going to think of what type of business and also a tagline for the business. What I would want you to put it in line with now, you'll be doing a unit called promote products. You know about that unit? Promote products and or service within your food and beverage.
Yes, we
Hello?
don't start that one as yet.
Right, which you're going to have to start now because we're going to be merging the both of them together. So when you're doing that big promote product thing, we're just going to link it and put everything together. So instead of you doing it more than once, you're going to do the promote product and the entrepreneur promote product and or service, and so you do the two of them. That's one big thing. So we're going to be linking it. Understand what I mean? So whatever you're probably doing for your food and beverage, whatever type of product or service you're thinking of for your food and beverage, you're going to be using the concept, but build on it for the entrepreneurial aspect of it. So we're covering the both. And it is the week of the 8th of November. That's the timeline we're having because that is Entrepreneurship Week. So that's the week we're working with. I will finalize and we will finalize the date within that week. So think along that line for that big thing that we're going to have. It's go big or go home. All right. So the for that part of it too, you're going to be able to showcase. So you have to dress alike, and then you have to dress pertaining to your business and so on, and big thing. But we'll have a more in-depth discussion in our next class about it. Right? But just start to think of what type of business you will want to, your group would want to do, business and product and or service you're going to want to do for this unit, and so on. Any question on that? Anything?
No, miss.
Still can't believe out of the 13 people is only 4 online. 3. All right, so couple questions I will want to ask before we get into it. What do you believe is, who is an entrepreneur in your opinion? Who is an entrepreneur?
It's a
A
person who
person who
themselves, miss.
One sec, one at a time. Go ahead, Sashna, then Neil. Go ahead, Sashna.
start a new business adventure.
All right. Neil, go ahead.
So I was saying a person who run their own business, miss.
First, to run your own business. Okay. Ataya?
Person to leave and start a business.
Neil, mute your mic a sec, please. I can't hear. You know, go ahead. I didn't hear Ataya. Go.
Person to so start a business.
All right. Jabil, who's an entrepreneur?
Miss,
Mm-hmm. Who is an entrepreneur? Who you believe is
Miss
an entrepreneur?
someone, Miss for me, someone who has the courage to start a business, to get investments from someone to help them with.
All right, good. There's no wrong or right. So you both have everybody has an idea of who is an entrepreneur. So any persons here online now thinking of that they want to be an entrepreneur? Or what type of business you think you would want?
Me, Miss.
All right, tell me what type of business.
Miss, I was from a longer time. I was thinking of starting a smoothie business.
All right, so what would be the name? Ever think of the name?
Miss, I would name it. Miss, remember the name the mama they write them. Mama they have a book with everything, Miss.
All right, so maybe you need to start thinking about it a little bit more, and then no start put it back, put it write it back over.
Yes, miss, I think me I go
Put pen
create
to
a new
paper.
plan and everything and put it in place, miss.
Right. So what we could, so I be sending you all of that information to an outline of how we would want the plan to be.
Okay.
So you could work from that aspect.
Miss, I was running a smoothie
Yes,
business, miss, for myself.
Come again? That's too such. Your word was that?
Miss, I was running a smoothie business for myself.
You were running a smoothie business, so you did have a name for it.
No,
You had
miss.
a name.
No, miss.
All right. So question is, you wanted to be an entrepreneur. Why did you want to be an entrepreneur? Why would persons want to be entrepreneurs, or why would you want to be an entrepreneur?
He said don't have to work for anyone.
Or okay, well, why would persons want? Okay, so why would persons want to be entrepreneurs? All right, I'm going to share my screen. So let me know when you're seeing it. Okay. Let me know when you're seeing the screen, please. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes, miss.
All right, so let's go to a little bit what we're going to be covering. We're going to define concepts associated with entrepreneurship. We're going to explain factors which influence entrepreneurship inside and outside of Jamaica. We're going to be explaining the importance of entrepreneurship in the economy. We're going to be explaining how entrepreneurial ventures and success in Jamaica are clearly presented in the appropriate format. And we're going to be explaining the difference between wage employment and entrepreneurial ventures. Right. So we spoke about entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur, right? So this states that someone who sees an opportunity to make profit, right? 'Cause in your business, you do want to make a profit, isn't that right? Yes? Hello?
Yes, miss.
You want to make a profit. But the person who's an entrepreneur, they're willing to take the risk with their money. So as a risk entrepreneurs are risk takers, and they risk whatever their money in order to make a profit, right? And it's also a person who owns and operates their own business. So there are many concepts. You want to make a profit, you're willing to take a risk with your money in order to do so. So entrepreneurs are risk takers. Okay, so there are some concepts of entrepreneur. of entrepreneurship. The first one is entrepreneur, which we just went through. Who's an entrepreneur? Entrepreneurship is the next one. Market, the market mix, risk, competition, competition, wage employment, and entrepreneur traits like creativity, innovation. These are traits that an entrepreneur should have. So these are concepts of entrepreneurship. Okay, so what do you think is the difference between entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur? Anybody think they could answer that? What is the difference between entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur? What do you think the difference is for that? Anyone care to guess? Natalia? It's 4 on the class today, so I expect some more participation. Please. Hello? Jabil?
Yes, miss?
What do you think is the difference between being an entrepreneur and entrepreneurship? What do you think the difference is?
Miss, I'm not sure, but for the entrepreneurship is like when the business starts, miss, and it's taken off, and you have to like know how to put the money to reuse the money and to earn more profits and such, miss.
All right. Anybody else? Thank you, Jabil. Anybody else?
Miss,
Yeah.
Miss, the entrepreneur is the person who coordinates the requirements of an organization, miss. And the entrepreneurship, miss, the person who owns and run their business.
Not really. Not really. No, not really. What I'm looking for. Toya, wanna try? Difference between entrepreneur and being an entrepreneur and entrepreneurship.
Okay, well, entrepreneur is the person who take the risk to establish a business or start their own business, while
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur is basically when entrepreneurship is basically like a business that is operated by a sole trader or a single person.
Right. All right. All right. Thanks. But look at what it's saying here. Entrepreneurship is the motivated spirit that causes someone to establish goals and do everything to accomplish the goals. Or you could say it's a process of identifying and starting the business. Right? It is that thing that it pushes you to start the business and go to want to operate your own business. So one is the person who start the business. Entrepreneurship is a person who started, and entrepreneurship is that thing that is the process of identifying the business, the type of business that you want, right? And getting it started. So one is the process and one is the person. You get the difference? You understanding the difference between the two? Hello?
Miss.
One is the steps in order to take to start the business, the process, and one no is a person. So entrepreneurship is a process. And being an entrepreneur is the person that is the entrepreneur is someone who sees the opportunity, or a person who owns and operate the business. So that's the difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. Any question on that? Are we clear?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so this states that market. All right, so what do you think? Okay, so so we spoke about these concepts already, entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. But what is the market? When I say market, what are you talking about? What are we talking about when we talk about market? Hello? What is market? What is a market? When we say market, what are we talking about? Sashna, when we say market, what are we talking about? What do you think we're speaking about when we say market?
Miss, a place where buyers and sellers.
All right, pizza buyers and sellers. Anybody else? Thank you. Ataya?
Miss, the persons who
Miss is like
are
One sec,
well,
Lataya. Then
Miss, the
Jabil.
person you're targeting as well as your competition as other persons who may be selling the same product or service that you intend to offer.
Mm, that's market. All right. Partially. Jabil, go ahead.
for me is marketing is like putting out your product
No, not
out there.
marketing, Not marketing, Market.
Oh,
Market, not marketing, market. What is when you say market, what are we speaking about? Not marketing. Market. What is a market? All right, so market is a place or building where people meet to buy or sell products or services, or the process of exchange that enables buyers and sellers to meet. So that is the market. Your market is so your market can be, you can have an online market, don't it? Your market can be online because that's where your goods and services are exchanging online. Yes? Hello?
Yes, miss.
Right? So it's a place where people meet to buy or sell products or services, or the process of exchange that enables buyers and sellers to meet. All right, so what is the next concept now? It is the market mix. Now, the market mix is a combination of product, price, place, promotion. And there's another one now that we say people. So when we talk about this, is so the market mix is product, price, place, people, and promotion. So there are the 5 P's of market. Market mix of 5 P's. The 5 P's of the market mix is product, price, place, people, and promotional strategies. So when we talk about products, what are we speaking about? When you talk about product, what are we speaking about? Under the market mix, it says they all have the 5 P's. So we talk about the product. What are we speaking about when we talk about products?
Mr. Product will be the goods, miss.
The goods. That what are just the goods, sir? What are you doing with the goods?
Mr. Applicant for sale, miss.
All right. Who else want to try? What is the thank you? Who else want to try? What is the product? When we talk about the product, what are we speaking about? Come on, man, this is a participating class. When we talk about product, what are we speaking? Johnny, Lataya, Dashan.
Miss, the things that that the business is going to sell, miss.
All right.
Miss, the
Uh-huh.
goods and service that is being offered in the market.
All right. The goods and or
Services.
service that is offered. Yes. So it's whatever goods or services that person or company is offering is your product. So your product can be a service, and it can be either a good or a service. All right. So when we speak about next price, what is the price? When we speak about price, what is that? What is price? Shani, you wake up.
Yes, miss.
Sorry, sorry. It's pronouncing it for me is Shanai.
Yes, miss.
Shanai, what is when you're asking when somebody says the price, what are they speaking about? And
It's
where
the cost.
the cost for what?
Which I'm not sure what you're talking about, no, miss. But you asked me if someone said the price, what would it mean? Instead, I said the cost.
Right. So I'm asking you, what is the cost? Yeah. What? Okay. We are speaking about entrepreneurship, right? So price, the price. What is it? What's the price pertaining to? You just
It's
tell me price. What I want to know. Huh?
I don't know.
Or anybody wants to try? What is it? What we speak about price? What we're speaking about?
Miss, like the amount of money that the item required.
No, not exactly. Not exactly. Your price is how much the goods And service and or service is the money, it's the cost for the goods and or service that you're offering, right? It's the cost for the goods and or services that you're offering. That is the price that they're speaking about. So you're offering a service and you have the price for the service. You're offering a service or you're offering a product and you have the cost for the product. When we say people, what are we speaking about? When you say people,
Miss,
yes?
customers and potential customers as well as competitors.
Okay. So these are persons who you want to reach, the people, your potential customers, right? The company, yes, all of that. So good. So these are the people who you want to reach, your potential ones and the ones you already have. Great. When we speak about promotional strategies now, what are we speaking about?
These are basically ways how you attract customers or get your business out there.
All right, so give
Such,
me some examples.
well,
Give me
main
some
one is
example of main one is what?
advertisement.
All right. Can you name any other type of promotional strategy? We can use advertisements. What other way can we promote your products and or service? Is there any other way?
Giveaways.
So, all right, you could have a promotion of your product. So you're doing a little what we would call that? When you're doing giveaways and those things, what do we call that?
It's like the sample to sample the product. Sampling.
All right, so you're bringing, okay, so you put out a little booth and you're doing a little sampling, right? So that's another way you could allow for your product to be advertised. So okay, so give me some examples of specific examples of how you will advertise your business. Be more specific now. You said you're going to be advertising, but give me some examples of how you can advertise. Give me some specific ways of advertising your business. So let's talk about the promotion, about doing the samples. So give me some other ways now you can also promote your business. Person mentioned advertising. Well, give me some examples of how you can advertise then your business. Then.
By
It's
social
like
media,
making flyers and going out on the road and giving people, persons.
All right. So flyers is one. Anybody else? Thanks.
so I was saying social media.
You can use social media to advertise. Yes. Anything else? Anybody else? You use social media, you use print media. What else?
So use a cleaner.
It's a newspaper. You can put it
Newspaper is
in
also print
newspaper.
media. Yes. That is come under print media. What else is there? So we're doing the
Television.
all right. So we can do it on the television, right? Where else? Where else can we advertise? Huh?
On the road.
On the what?
On the road. On the road.
On the road? How are you going to do it on the road? I don't understand. Explain. In what way?
well, you mentioned you can have person giving out flyers a means of advertising as well.
Right. So, what about the radio? What if you forget about the radio? Oh, no, no, listen to radio. Radio not about no more. Radio's not around anymore. Hmm?
No, miss. TV.
So radio is not part of advertising. I know
Radio.
that a lot of persons listen to the radio. So
People
that's
have
another
listened
way of
to radio now,
advertising.
miss.
What you saying?
People have listened to radio now, miss. Them I use
Who tell
technology.
you that?
Eh?
What? Who tell you that? Who tell you
That's
that?
that's why I run the world now.
You're assuming that. But a lot of people are still listening to radio every day. So we can that's still a way of advertising your business. So it still cannot rule it out. It's still another way of advertising. Right? It might not be as it might not be so big now, but it's still another way. So we're not discounting it that it's not another way of advertising a business. All right. So I have to think of all the ways. Not all the way you think you must advertise, but all the ways that can use to advertise your business. Clear?
Yes, miss.
All right. So here are some reasons why people want to be an entrepreneur. They want to be their own boss. They're doing something they enjoy. They have the opportunity to be creative. They have freedom to set their own schedule. They have control over their salary and they contribute to the economy. All right, so these are some reasons why people be entrepreneur. So what are there anything else that you think missing from this why persons want to be entrepreneur? Looking at this, it says you're being your own boss, you're doing something that you love, the opportunity to be creative, freedom to set your own schedule. Anything missing? So we could say that these are more advantages of being an entrepreneur, right? Hello? Hello? Am I speaking to myself? Not knock. Who is there?
Yes, miss.
If the what are some disadvantages then of being an entrepreneur? Give me some disadvantages of being an entrepreneur. What would be some disadvantages?
Miss, your business might be slow, so you're not selling much product as you want to.
All right, good. Thank you.
And you can not promote your business enough, so most people don't know about your business.
All right. Anybody who can
This business failure.
business can fail, right? Good. Anything else?
Stress, miss.
Okay, it can be stressing. All right.
I miss
Anything
you,
else?
you maybe not have enough you won't be able to be flexible as you want to be.
Okay. Cool. Now, Shauna, want to try? What are some disadvantages of being an entrepreneur? Shania, you want to try? What are some disadvantages of being an entrepreneur? What do you think?
Miss the same thing everybody say that must sip on Google. Miss the same thing everybody say. So I never choose for repeat.
Same thing that everybody say. But you have an opinion. What do you think? If you are an entrepreneur, what do you think would be a disadvantage?
It's probably sometimes you find problem like finding workers or finding employees.
All right, okay, can take that. But here are some here that we have here. You have to probably work long hours because you know the hours are not steady. You have to work long hours because especially when you're just starting up a business, the hours might be longer than you expect because this is just starting out. So you have to spend more time in the business. Your income is uncertain. You don't know how much you're going to make from how much you're not going to make. Da da da. Get me? Your income is uncertain. You won't know. You won't be able. Sometimes probably you won't be able to even pay yourself. You suffer personal loss if the business fails. So that means, sir, the money what you put in, you probably going to lose and you don't know. And it's going to be issues. You have the personal risk. Your personal loss. You are losing. You personally are going to lose. So that means also you are risking your investment. So the money that you put in, you are risking your risk of losing all of that. So you're because you're risk takers, these are some things that can happen. These are some disadvantages. When we speak about the business environment, what are we speaking about? When you talk about business environment, what do you think are we speaking about? When we say the business environment,
Miss the place that you work?
I think about it in an
The
entrepreneurial
location,
aspect. Think broader.
it's the location.
Environment.
It's where business is located.
Like it's a location, but think more environment. What? Okay, so location is part of it. What else they're thinking about when they talk about the environment? Think more than the where. When they talk about the environment, what other things you think they're talking about? Wouldn't the environment also be the people? Huh? The people that surround it, wouldn't that be part of the environment?
Yes, mate.
Yes. So
Like
we have
if
to
they
think
have
about every
negative energy or positive.
right. So what when talk about the business environment is everything that affect the business. Your customers is a part of the environment. It's everything. It's how the business operate when you talk about the business environment. Your customers, your competitors, the stakeholders, your suppliers, your suppliers, right? The social, the economic factors, the technology, all of that is the business environment. So everything that affects the business is part of the environment. So that's what they're speaking about. All right. When I talk about the business environment, anything that affects it in any way is the environment. All right. Any question on that? So There are some components of the environment, internal and external. When you talk about the internal environment, what are we talking about? What do you think they talk about when you talk about internal environment?
Yes, the internal environment mean the environment where the business is located.
Stop thinking more of in the just where it is located. Think bigger. Internal
Uh,
environment.
within the country that the business is located.
Not necessarily that I'm look. No, it's not. Stop looking at it more of the location. Think of the remember what we
Miss,
just
like
spoke about.
everybody that is within the business, miss.
Give me an example.
Like the boss, the workers, um, the things they use to make the products and those stuff.
All right, to an extent, to an extent. Like, let me try to admit Kitana. If you
Miss,
yes.
the internal environment is the element that defines the atmosphere within the company structure.
All right. It is okay. So your immediate effect, this environment, this when you talk about the internal environment, it is also called the microenvironment. It
Yes.
affects, it's those things that affect the everyday performance of the company. That's what they're speaking about.
Yes, Miss, that is what
So,
I was going to say. Describe the
right.
activities and relationship carried out inside the business.
So, right. So anything that affects what is happening internally is the environment. Your customers, your competitors can affect your business, your everyday thing, right? The public, your suppliers, right? These things that allow you to, that affect your everyday thing is your internal environment, right? It affects the performance of the company, is what they're speaking about when they spoke about the internal environment, right? Your customers. So these customers could be the individual, the industries, the government, all of those. Anything that allow you to, that affects your immediate business. So we talk about, okay, so we have an idea what the environment is, the internal environment. But why would we want to do an environmental scan? What do you think we mean when we say we want to do an environmental scan? What do you think we're talking about? We are doing an environmental scanning. What are we doing? What are we doing when we say it is we're doing an environmental scan? You're going to be starting your business and we have to do an environmental scan. What are we saying? What are we saying when we're doing an environmental scan? Hello? When we say we want to do an environmental scan, what do you think we're saying?
Miss, like you're doing a
Miss,
survey.
meaning, meaning
All right,
that you're going to come in and see where you're going to get your supplies from. How where you at? How much customers would it at would come in and those stuff.
all right. Thank you, Jabil. Shania, go ahead.
Mrs. Like you're doing a survey.
All right. What would be in the survey? What would be a part of the survey? What you checking for?
Miss,
Some
say you're
idea
checking
of
for external
One sec.
opportunities,
All right.
threats that could influence the future decisions.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Nashana. Nashana, go ahead. All right. Here what it says about environmental scanning. It's a process by which an entrepreneur takes a scan or evaluates the impact of the environmental forces of a prospective business. So before you start, you want to know, is the location good? Are the people going to be buying your goods and or services? Is it prone to flooding? Are we going to be doing, is there people are going to be, is there violence within the community? Wouldn't you want to check for all of those? Right? Yes? No? Maybe so?
Yes, miss.
Right? So you're checking for every little thing before. Cause you figure, cause even like you went and you go start the bill, but you didn't check that here you have to pay the extortions. Them are gonna come extort you. And you have to pay the money a month, time, and so on, because what you didn't do your due diligence. You didn't check for these things that are happening before you even go and start. So you have to be doing everything. You have to do all your checks. As somebody said earlier, do your survey. You do a little survey and say, okay, is this type of business also good for the location? Right? So all of that have to do with your scanning. You're scanning the environment. You think about every little thing. So when you talk about now your external environment, this is something that probably it's not necessarily in your control, right? You cannot control the economy or what is happening in the economy. You cannot control your natural disasters. You cannot control the political environment. So the external environment is these things that is not under your control. You're not able to see what you're not able to foresee what these things, right? So these are the external forces that is happening. You cannot know that the prices are going to raise. You can, right? So is that aspect it is speaking about the external environment, right? Clear on that? Are we clear what the difference between the internal environment is and the external environment?
Yes, miss.
All right, so let's go through a few questions. What is the difference between an entrepreneur and entrepreneurship? Who can answer that one?
One is the person and one is the process.
Okay, one is a person, one is a process. I want you to give me a full little definition. Pretend that this is a question that is asked and you're writing it. Please state the difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneurship.
So Miss N entrepreneur is the person who takes the risk
All
of
right.
starting a business, and the
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship is what you
Yeah.
go through to start the business. Miss.
Ah, Mr. Jabili look like it. Why? Yes, man. Great. Next question. Somebody else is going to answer this one. What are two concepts of entrepreneurship? Who's answering that one? Two concepts of entrepreneurship.
Miss Market and Market
Uh,
Mix.
okay, great. Thank you. Next person. Why is environmental scanning important to the business? Janil, that is your question.
Miss,
Yes.
this is my question.
Yes, why is environmental scanning important to any business?
Um, Miss, it help the business to determine the future direction, Miss.
That's kind of vague. Need a little more meat on the bone.
Miss, the brain kinda gone on a different level, you know.
I just talked about it a while ago. Who else can answer that question? Why is environmental scanning important? Thank you, Janil. Why is environmental scanning important?
Yes, because it provide information and factors that will affect the organization in the future.
Is it for the few? All right, all right. Remember what it is. Remember, environmental scanning is for you to determine whether you want to put the business at the location. You are looking at the factors that ask, allow you to start. Why is it that you want to start the business there, right? So that's it, right? So that's why you want to know, is this going to, why, where am I located? Is it make sense, so I put the business here, right? Am I going to attract enough customers, right? Those things like that. So that's why it is important.
They want to know if it's profitable, Miss.
It is going to be profitable to put the business there in that location. Is this location prone to violence? Is this location prone to flooding or natural disasters? So these are the important, right? So these are things why it is important to scan. Next question. What are two benefits of being an entrepreneur? That's the first one. What are two benefits of being an entrepreneur? What are two benefits of being an entrepreneur?
Miss
Your
you, miss you're your own boss,
Right?
and you provide service to the customers that they need.
All right, fine. I'll work with that. Anybody else? What are two advantages of being an entrepreneur?
Miss to control your salary
Mm-hmm.
and
Give me a
Miss
next
and
one.
benefit.
to do something you enjoy.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead, Shania.
Miss and it benefits the economy.
It benefit. No, I wanted it. Okay, yes, yes, it does benefit the economy, so that's an advantage. Good. So give me some disadvantages now of being an entrepreneur. What are some disadvantages?
Is business failure and
Business can fail, all right? What else?
personal loss.
Good, you end up suffer the loss. All right, great. Anybody else?
Working long hours.
You have to be working long hours. Yes, great. Next question. What is the difference between market and marketing mix? What's the difference between market and marketing mix? Come the man. Market and marketing mix.
Miss a market is a place or a
Mm-hmm.
business or buy where people meet to buy or sell product, and market mix is a combination of the four P's.
Five P's.
I
What are the five P's?
product, price, place, and
Mm-hmm.
promotion.
Mm-hmm. What else? You miss one. You miss
And people,
one.
yes, people.
People. Great. All right, so who can tell me now? All right, so that's it for the questions so far. Give me some give me some name of some entrepreneurs. Who are some entrepreneurs who are Jamaican? Who are some entrepreneurs? Give me some on the type
China
of business
K,
that they have. Come again?
China K, and she have a ear growth business.
All right. Give me some big ones, some well-known ones we have in Jamaica. Give me some well-known ones. Give me some well-known
Lasco and Grace.
the name of the no, I need the name of the entrepreneur. That's a company. The name of the
Miss
entrepreneur.
Michael Kitchen.
Michael Lee Chin. Yes. Who else? Whether dead or alive. Tell me them.
Bootstrap Miss
Bud
and
Stewart. Yes.
Joseph Matalan.
Matalans. Yes.
Grace Hamilton,
Any,
miss.
okay. Grace Apple. And their own one.
Miss them do music, miss, and them have a Grassinure line clothes brand. They have a hair store and they have a
Okay.
clothes store.
All right. Here are some that probably you didn't. There's some that you mentioned and some that you didn't. We have, remember Captain Horace Burrell? And he owned Captain's Bakery. You have the Azans.
Seem not dead.
Those are well-known names. You have the Matalans, right? So you have some well-known entrepreneurs. All right. So globalization. Anybody ever hear that word before? Globalization? Anybody ever hear that name globalization before?
Like we have
Huh?
Yes, miss.
What is that? What was a globalization? What is it?
miss like spreading things worldwide, miss.
All right. So spreading things worldwide. All right. To an extent, yes. Anybody else want to try what they say globalization? What we mean?
Repeat that, miss.
No, I'm still asking about the globalization. I still want a little bit more on that. What do we mean by globalization?
Miss, the way business and
Yes.
organization develop international.
All right. I can work with that. All right. Who else? Who else? All right. So let's go. So globalization is the process of interaction and integration among people, the government, and government of different nations. So the fact that we can able to trade with countries overseas is part of the globalization. So globalization is like you're bringing the world to Jamaica. You're thinking globally. You're trading. You're importing. You're exporting, right? So you're doing businesses abroad, and I'm sure as budding entrepreneurs, you want to be trading globally, and you want your business to be worldwide, right? So that's what they talk about globalization. So when they talk about it, so you know that the global, so we're more, right? So when they speak about the globalization, they're talking about exporting and importing. What are some goods and or service that we import? Who can tell me that? What are some things that Jamaica imports? What do
Water,
we import? All right, what else?
foods like fruits like apple,
All right.
pear,
Mm-hmm.
miss oil, vehicle,
Right.
rice.
Right. We import so many things. who do we import from? Who do we import from? What are some countries that we are importing from?
Japan, where we get cars,
Good, we have Japan. Where else?
with
Where else
China,
import? What are some other countries? China,
China,
yes.
United States,
Mm-hmm.
Mexico,
United. Mm-hmm.
UK, Brazil,
Which?
Venezuela.
Mm-hmm. Good. All right, so those good. Is there any Caribbean island that we get imports from?
It's Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago. So, what are some what are some goods that we export? And who do we export to?
Miss Coffee, Miss.
All right, we export coffee. What else?
Rum and sugar, Miss.
What else? Do we export sugar? We still export. Well, we probably use because we don't have any. A lot of the sugar industry is basically down now. Remember that. What else? What else do we?
Miss, we export water and food also too.
We export water?
Yes, miss, because when I went away, I saw 876 water in the supermarket.
Okay, great.
I must say mackerel, grace, mackerel, and them something.
All right, so we do the food items. All right. So, what are some countries we export to?
USA, miss.
All right, so we export to USA. Where else?
Canada.
What we export to Canada? You know? Or you just
Like
attack
common
some
stuff.
names?
They export common stuff is the people like overseas that go on the good old Blue Mountain Peak coffee, miss. And the good old white rum.
All right. All right, good. What are some we have advantages? What are some advantages of the global competition or or competing globally? What are some advantages of competing globally? What are some advantages of doing that? What can happen? Because we are competing globally, what are some pros and some cons of that, of competing globally? We know we import and we export and so on. What are some, why would we want to import? What are some advantages of doing that? Or what are some pros?
Miss, for the importing, miss, like certain fruits and those stuff we don't have, miss, so that would be good that they get the fruits
All
and
right.
food to
Mm-hmm.
our country.
All right. What else?
Miss, and for the cars, miss, like, oh, we don't make cars and those stuff. So they get the car, so we can purchase it for our needs.
All right, good. What else? They are not annotated because I don't get the information from me to upload them in. Yes. Hello? Why would we want to compete globally? What are some reasons why we want to compete globally? Why would you want to export? Why would you want to compete globally? Why would you want
Mr.
to
Persons
export?
can know about our country and about our
That
products
is
that
why
we
you
have.
that is why you want to export? Because you just want them to know about your company. You think? That's not the only reason. Give me some more, man. Think deep.
You want them to know
Think
that your product or your service that you're providing is good, it's
all
benefiting
right.
and
Think of it this
different.
way, Jamil. Why would you want to export your goods or service? Why would you want to sell getting them abroad?
Miss, maybe because they will pay you better for it abroad than out here.
Good. You're increasing your money. Money are coming, more money coming, foreign exchange. So you're increasing your sales. You're widening you're widening your customer base. You have more type of customer, different types of customers. Think like that. These are some ways where we complete globally. The cost might be less when you're bringing in as well. You know that we bring, right? It probably costs us less to you. Who, what kind of service do we import? What kind of services do we import? What kind of services come to Jamaica? But you can't think of it. What about the nurses? You always hear that nurses are coming to Jamaica. Isn't that a service? And is it an importing? Yes? No? Maybe so? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Hello? 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 Answer me, the man. Come in, man. Talk.
Yes, Miss, say that call it when we send farm workers off foreign, we export them.
Ah, exactly. We export them. And what are some other things? So other from the nurses, what are some other we import services that we import?
This is
Hmm.
doctors, builders.
Right? Right, the construction worker. Yes.
We're not importing
All of those are services that we import.
that.
Right? What are some risk? What are some risk that will happen when we export or we do or we are doing globally? What are some risks what can happen? What is it that can happen when we are competing globally? What are the risks that we are taking? And globally, you mean right? What are some risks we are taking when we're competing globally?
We say might not have enough product or service to provide.
Okay, good. You might not have enough to compete. Right. Excellent. What else? So the demand is more than the supply. So you have more demand for your product and your services more than what you have to give to them. Good. What else? What else? What else? What else? Remember, you're competing with different countries, so you might not speak the same language. And what happens when you can't speak the language of the country, this country
Cause
that
a
you want?
language barrier.
It's a language barrier. So therefore, what happens when you have that barrier?
Cause communication problem, miss.
Mm-hmm. What's the trickle effect on that?
Miss, if you don't have understanding for each other, miss, you don't know how to supply or give your service
Ah,
to that person, miss, our country.
eh, great. You might have to travel to these countries. So it's going to cost you. It might be high to ship more. It might be more money to ship to these countries. So all of these are the risks that you take when you're competing globally, right? All right. So some of the things that when you in the competition, it can cut your price. Also, it can improve your quality, your goods or your service. So when you're competing with other persons that have your same type of business, right? You might have to bring down your price. You have to improve the quality of goods or services. You might have to spend more money in promoting your business. Or it can also cut the cost because when you bring import goods and your services, it costs you less than if it is done from here. Right? Because the same you have to bring it down. Right? So it can cost you less shipping in things. Right? So that's things that the business can relate when you come onto the competition. So these are some factors that influence entrepreneurship inside and outside of Jamaica. The economic changes. So economic changes, is that inside or outside? Would that be or both? What do you think?
Miss, it can be both.
All right, in what way? What can happen outside when you come on to the economic changes? What are you thinking of? You're right when you
Probably
say both, but I want to hear why you would say both.
economic changes, economic changes. Miss, probably like with your goods, depending on what you ship, if it's farm products, probably the weather might have a lot to do with it.
Ah, good. Say my probably you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
All of that have to right. The economic. It's not the weather, no, it's the economy. We're talking about money. So what can happen now? Probably okay, a ship can come in here, but what can happen? Because also foreign exchange might be high, right? You might right. So you have to look at all of that too. So the economic factors change. So therefore, both inside of Jamaica and outside. You might have more taxes inside of Jamaica, right? That's an economic change. So it costing you to for these taxes and so on. Advanced technology, will that be would that be inside or out? Would that be inside or outside of Jamaica? Advanced technology. I will have to think of technology broadly. Technology don't just mean computer. Technology is more than that. So with the advanced technology, be would that be inside or outside of Jamaica? Would that factor be which influence inside or outside Jamaica? Hello, you're on the air.
Let's just say inside because we do have what it have equipments to make certain technology and those stuff. Yes.
All right, so it's a door. All right. So it can affect it inside, yes, but it can be also outside, wherein we are able to get these technologies to bring in to allow your business to grow. So it influences in that way. So
Yes,
one is a
miss just like
downside, one is a
oh,
good side. Go ahead.
miss just like oh, Australia are by digital miss, so they are buying our technology miss per se.
Um, okay. Okay. All right. Unemployment. Would this factor affect it inside or outside of Jamaica?
Miss inside,
It can be inside, yes. But can't it be outside too? Can't it be outside too?
So it can be
miss
both.
as
It can be both. But give me a reason why it can be outside. Remember now we're thinking globally. How would unemployment affect? Would it more okay, so it affect it inside, but can it affect it outside? All right, think about it. How would it's globalization? Oh, this factor influence inside or outside Jamaica. Globalization. Hello. And look at increased competition as well. What is increased competition? What do you mean by that?
Miss that probably you're selling something, but they're like you're selling some product, miss, but you have other companies selling the same product, so you have a lot of competition, and who's selling it
Right? So,
more reasonable than the rest?
okay, good. So this can affect, influence the business, increase competition. So what will be some things that if you have increased competition on your business, what can happen when you have increased competition?
Miss probably you lose some of your customers depending.
Ah, good. You can lose some of your customers. Great. And when you lose the customers, what happened?
Miss the business start to take time go down because the sales is not
All
going to
right.
be the same as it is.
Great. And when you have increased competition, what are some changes you think that you might have to do when you have increased competition?
Miss probably I forgot start put out some more promotions, probably try to sell the item a little bit less to get back your
All right. If you
customer.
strategize, exactly. Probably have to change your price, do more promotional activities. Excellent. So those are things that can happen. Good. There are some impact now of entrepreneurship. It creates job, increase taxes, so that means you're paying, right? Innovation, technology development, right? These are some impact of entrepreneurship. Because remember now, the person who is an entrepreneur, they're developing something new. They might develop something new, or it could be right. They're developing new things. Increase in the gross domestic product, and the gross domestic product is the total value of goods or service produced in a country. So your company or your good or your service is increasing that. Foreign exchange benefits, because whatever business you have, you can be using foreign exchange. And a lot of companies now, even in Jamaica, and a lot of these online companies too, their prices are priced in US, in foreign exchange, right? So you're able to benefit from that. You're able to use substitutions, right? You're getting imports, so you're able to get the so you so you're able to that's an impact of it. Improvement in your local economy or the local industry. So as an entrepreneur, these are some impact as an entrepreneur will have. Or these are some impact that entrepreneurship will have. All right, so you see how much impact it has. What you think now is a difference between a person who's an entrepreneur and a person who's working a 9 to 5 job? What is the difference? Who can tell me some differences?
Is the one who work 9 to 5 receive a paycheck, miss, while the entrepreneur might work and you can't even receive a paycheck some of the time.
All right, good, great. What else? What else can happen? Look at this. Remember now, you're entrepreneur, you are controlling your own destiny because it's your business. And as Johnny said earlier, you're getting a monthly salary for the traditional. So look at the difference between the traditional and the person who's an entrepreneur. You're probably getting allowances as in the traditional employment. You get life insurance, but as an entrepreneur, you're not getting none of these, you know. You're working for somebody, but the business is the one that suffers a loss if they fail. But yourself, you, because you get your paycheck same every month, same way. Whether them suffer a loss or not, you are getting your money unless them fire you. Not true,
Yes, miss.
right? So for the entrepreneurial venture now, you are your own boss. You get all the profit. So there are some pros and cons in both, right? With the difference between the entrepreneur and entrepreneurial ventures. All right. All right. Let me see. Yep. So that's that for element one. And I think I'm going to stop here for today. And we pick up back in our next class. But we're going to be doubling up in our next class. I'm going to be going through some little questions now. These are question and answer section. Let me stop share a sec. We'll be going through some questions now. Let's see if the brain ticking. Let's see if you can answer some of these questions. And I'll be sending you a little later the major assignment and plus the notes and so on. Just give me a sec, please. Let me just want to. All right, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go through a few questions. Let's see if the brain ticking. Let me know if you're seeing the screen, please. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes, miss.
All right, let's go
Yes,
through a
miss.
few questions. Let's
Okay.
go through a few questions. First question
It's
here.
in a center, miss.
Pardon me?
It's not center. Oh, yeah, it's center now, miss.
All right. First question here. Who is an entrepreneur? Is it A, someone willing to take risk? Is it B, someone who sees the opportunity to make profit and is willing to risk his or her money to gain that profit? Is it C, someone who sees the opportunity to create something new? Or is it D, all of the above?
Miss all of the above.
All right. Who else? Is it A, B, C, or D? Who else?
You miss.
Huh? Hello?
All of the above.
Miss D is all of the
Uh,
above, Miss.
all of the above. Good. Yes, that is correct. The answer is all of the above. All right. Traditional employment is the one in which A, an individual works for someone else, an organization, company, or industry. B, an individual usually work an 8-hour day, giving his or her effort to achieving someone else's goals or dreams. C, a worker given a set job or task that is or her to complete on a daily basis, weekly or monthly. Or D, all of the above.
It's A, Miss.
All right, you say A. Anybody else say anything different?
Miss, me not hear the question, Miss.
Miss,
See there, number 3.
Miss
You're not
D.
seeing it. All right.
Miss, me only I see
Anybody
where it
else?
said systematic.
See there, one is a traditional employment. Traditional employment is the one in which A, an individual works for someone else, an organization, company, or industry. B, an individual usually works an 8-hour, given his or her effort to achieve someone else's goals. C, a worker is given a set job task to complete daily, weekly, or a monthly basis. Or D, all of the above. Hello? Look at it, traditional employment.
Miss D.
Yes, good. The answer is D, all of the above. All of this have to do with traditional employment. Let's look at the next one. An advantage of wage employment over entrepreneurial employment is A, opportunity to have control over one's destiny. B, opportunity to secure a monthly, weekly employment. C, opportunity for self-actualization. Or D, all of the above. Advantages of wage employment over entrepreneurial ventures. Which is the answer?
Miss.
What is the
Miss
answer
B.
there? Which one?
Miss all
What
of
is
the above.
No, it's not all of the above.
Yeah,
D,
yeah,
Miss. Miss
yeah,
B.
Miss Miss
B. The answer is B.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the other one of them, the others are entrepreneurial. The one here, what remember, say entrepreneur, you're in control of your destiny. Remember that?
Yes, Miss.
So if you look up the method of elimination, and remember, it's advantage of
Stress.
wage employment, and wage employment is when you're earning monthly, weekly, and so on. Who does say them stress? All right, look at this one now. Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a process of identifying and starting a business venture, sourcing and organizing. So it is a process of identifying and starting a business venture, sourcing the organization required resources, and so on. Or B, the motivating spirit that causes someone to establish the business. Is it C, the driving spirit that causes a person to get involved? Or D, all of the above?
Miss A.
A, okay, anybody else?
It's all of the above.
Above, Miss.
It is
All of the above.
all of the above, yes. All right, let's see. Number 6. Factors that influence entrepreneurship include, is it A, market mix? Is it B, globalization and increased competition? Is it C, is it C,
Miss
gross
B,
domestic product?
B, Miss.
Right, it's B. All right, I'm not what some of the questions I don't go through because we don't reach to that yet. We never explain that yet. Two types of advertising. Types. Is it A, goods and service? Is it B, broadcast and print? Is it C, magazine and flyers? Or is it D, cars and bus? Which one it is? Two types of advertising.
Miss
Miss
magazines
B,
and
broadcast
flyers.
and print.
Somebody said broadcast and print. Anybody say anything different?
No, magazine and flyer.
With magazines and flyer, would that be that is an example? Is magazine and flyers are examples, not
B, B.
types.
Oh. So I stick with broadcast and print.
It will be broadcast and print because broadcast can be you can broadcast over but the printed one is the flyers and magazines and so on. So it's broadcast and print are different types. Businesses advertise because they want to A, increase sales or products and services. Is it B, communicate a change in existing their product line? Is it C, introduce a new product or service? Or D, all of the above?
All of the above, Miss.
Oh, yes, it is all of the above. You see someone when I'm ready for the test already? No, bright. All right, so I will stop here for today. Next week, we're covering a little bit more, so we're going to be staying a little bit longer. But since it was our first class, I won't um, give you too much at one time. But next week, because it's 2 sessions we have, but next week I'll be going in a little bit more. All right, so please, the homework to come with next week is one, I need for the groups, I need the name of the business. So you're going to think of the name of the business and the tagline. So I'll need to hear the type of business that you're thinking of and the tagline for the business for the groups. All right, so that's what, so think about it for next week. I'll be emailing you the major assignment for the product and for the business plan later today. So you can have an idea of what I'm looking for. And we're going to have some discussions in our next class about it as well. All right, everyone. Any questions? Any questions? Anything you want to clarify? So when I do send you the thing, you're going to be, you can go through it and then you can come with questions based on that plan that we're going to be doing. And let me tell you. And the date we're looking at for it ending that major assignment is by the 5th of November. So we do have enough time to do that. So I'll be
Which
sending you
one
the
is the
latest.
business plan assignment?
The business plan assignment, yes. So I'll be sending it later, sometime today, and it will be due on that. So we'll be going to having some discussions during the class period about it. Right? The 5th of July is the November. So it's what basically what 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks you'll have to do it. It's more than enough time to do that plan. So each week too, right? And expect persons to come with something with it. Ask your questions, clarify, and so on. So I'll be sending to an example of the what must be in the business plan and so on. And you can come with your questions for your next class. Right? As I said, you must come next week knowing the business, the name, and a tagline for the business based on your group. And I need the names of the groups, please. Can somebody send that to me? Who's the group leader? Is there a group leader? Or going to pick Latoya in the class? Latoya?
Miss,
Latoya? Can I
miss,
ask you to email me the groups, please? The, the
sure.
names within the
Sure, what
groups. Can you send that to me, please? Can
for
you
all the
email it to
groups?
me? Yeah, I need the names of the, who are in the groups. So I heard it's 3 groups, so I need the names of the group one, whatever it is. I need those names.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you shortly.
Okay, thank you very much.
Um,
Any questions, any clarification that you need? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Please note I'm saying again, we'll be going a little bit longer in our next class because we have more to cover. But I said, since this is our first in this, I'm not going to keep you as long today. But I'll be sending you everything. And we did cover a lot today. And I do thank persons for participating in the class. Anything, anybody? Okay, so if there not be anything, we will end this for today. For those who did not do the test, please go on the site and go and do my test. Those who did not do it on their very own, I'll be doing my marking. And if you know someone still in your group still never send in the assignment, send it in. Right? There are some persons who I've never seen in the class, but they're on their very own and I'm continuing whether or not. Not waiting on anybody. And anybody assignment or who don't do the test by the weekend will know for the IT, will know who's going to be sitting the final exam. Okay. Let me just, before I even end the class officially, I want to just check who are the persons who did the test. And based on my count, it was about 9 persons out of the whole class, out of the class. And that means it's only those 9 who do the test will do the external exam. That's what it means. At the end of the day, everybody needs to know whether or not they plan to finish this course, the food and beverage course, because everything is important. I want to double check who did the test. Just give me a sec, please. Everybody who's online now have done the test? You have done my test? Everybody who's
Yes,
online now
miss.
have done it?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss. Them coulda run in the church.
Jabi, what was singing? Oh, Cherise. 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 Madam Cherise.
Miss, you hear me now?
Yes. You know, I did say
Miss,
I
me
went
I
to
talk here.
sleep
Shut
when
up.
you who was saying that?
Miss, the baby I meant now.
Are you cause the baby Sasha Reese? Don't do that, man. I saw your this morning I see your last email about the other
Miss, my mind
test.
tell me say you asleep.
Sleep me tired this. Me tired till last night. So I did not see that.
Yeah, miss, I
So
can do it later then.
yeah man, I will do it for you later. Just
Yes.
could
If
I
it don't,
after that Saturday I was just so tired. So I did not even look back at the email.
okay. Guy, behave yourself and don't do that. Baba, dear.
I want to just double check who did not. Um and I don't understand. You set the people set the dates for the tests and everything. Alex, I don't know where. I don't know if Alex here, there, or anywhere. I don't know nothing about Daniela. Cause Daniela has not been to none of my class. So I don't know what is going to happen to her either. There are just a few persons I have not been seeing in the class. And I'm basically finished with one unit and in another one. And the same set of persons are not coming online for classes. And everybody want to graduate and get certified, but not coming to the class and not doing what you need to do. And then when them see everybody else is finished, then they want to know what they can do. And then comes stressing all of us. All right, so I'm not, the computer is kind of running slow. Oh. All right, so you know what? I will be looking at it later and I'll be sending out an email for all those, anybody who have any outstanding. I'm sending it to everybody. So don't, if I see I send it to everybody, just one big email I sending out and state, so everybody need to know who not doing anything and that way hide nothing from nobody. Everybody need to know it's a, right. I'm going to be sending out information who I have assignment for and who do the test. And those will be the only persons who will be sitting the final exam. So they must know what they're up to. Anyways, I'm going to move on since everybody are. So that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen, and one gentleman. Thank you for coming. We pick up in our next week, next class. And remember what you have to do for the next class. And Latoya, please remember you're going to send me that information. So now I will send what I need to send later. Do have a good day, everyone, and be safe.
to you, Miss.
Same to you, Miss.
Yeah.
And please, I crave participation in this class. So please, we must participate. All right, Jabil, you are my number one for today, Jabil. You are my number one for today. Jabil was number one for today. So, for participation, you're on top today. Everybody participated, but you are on top today. All right, everybody, have a good day.
Thank you, Miss. Same to you.